food service in LA, or was that your first?
That was my first food service job.
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
We'll get. Yeah.
We'll get there. Yeah. Okay.
I thought about some answers.
Oh, hi. You're listening to Service from Hell, a podcast featuring people that are currently in customer service positions or the lucky few that got out, and all the good, bad, and infinitely irritating things that go along with that work. I'm actor and writer Kate Gaffney, and I'm uniquely qualified to discuss this, as I used to work at a very busy and very popular comedy club in Los Angeles, and at least one of you listening right now has probably grabbed me and told me you were ready to order when I was running around like a crazy person. So let's eat. And this time, let's record, because this is the second time we're going through this, because I am not on my game today. I'd like to welcome our guest podcaster, former football player, and Knicks fan. There's a truck going by. This is just, here's the thing. This is just what this podcast is going to be. Everybody, you're going to hear lots of noises. I'm going to keep going with this intro. It's okay. Good. We're getting the trash. Might as well have left Pop out here, because I didn't think this through. Here we go. A former football player and sadly a Knicks fan, Morgan Mizell. Morgan hails from the great state of New York and is best known for being a highly skilled tight end for the Staten Island-based Wagner Seahawks, as well as the co-host of two super fun podcasts on the air right now, The Big Humble and The Definitive Rankings of Everything. But that's not all we know him for out here in LA. No, that's right. Morgan was also recently hit by a car as he crossed the street, and he not only survived, obviously, but he also broke every major bone in his body below the neck. It's pretty incredible. He's in a full body cast right now. We are interviewing him from his bed, and he's drinking from a straw. I better know Morgan through working at the same comedy club before the pandemic and sharing a POS with him more than once where I was about to lose my mind, and he acted like he didn't even have one drink to drop at any of his tables. He also is the one person who imparted the wisdom upon me when I asked him what he does if people touch him. Quote, "Oh, well, they basically never do, but when they're bold, I tell them, don't touch me." A man of rather succinct wisdom, but wisdom nonetheless. That said, Morgan, why do you work at a comedy club when you've no plans to get into entertainment? Do you actually wish you were an actor, comic? How much fun is having not only one, but two goddamn podcasts? Tell me about it.
Well, working at a comedy club, if I could ask myself, if I could go back to tell my 12-year-old self, like, hey, one day Pauly Shore is going to be your boss, that guy would be stoked. So it's kind of like a prophecy fulfilled. Okay. And also it's just like, oh, what better place in the world to work? You're dealing with some of the funniest, smartest people on a daily basis. You're involved in some of the best conversations ever, and the money's not that bad either.
Hello.
Yeah. So that's why I keep showing up.
Okay. And so you had, because you have no plans to get into entertainment, do you feel like you kind of have a leg up working there because you have no agenda?
Yeah, I have no agenda. I don't really want anything from anybody. So once people know that you're kind of coming into an interaction like that, they like kind of let their guard down again a lot. And it's kind of helped me sort of four-way my way into entertainment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not in entertainment, but you have two podcasts.
Yes.
Tell me about the podcast. What is The Big Humble?
The Big Humble, it's me and my really, really good friend, Matt Lockwood. We sit down once a week and have a very, very silly conversation. Our motto is pretty much the dumber, the better.
Okay.
So we'll have very passionate arguments about the silliest things.
Okay.
And really important things. We're kind of...
all over the place?
Yeah.
Do listeners get to write in and like say like, hey, we want to hear you talk about these things?
They're more than welcome to write in. Please do, actually. Harass either one of us on Instagram. We will gladly talk about it.
Okay. And then tell me about the definitive rankings of everything.
That is me, Matt Lockwood, and Asana Ahmad. It's a live show on Twitch we do every Tuesday at 1 p.m. West Coast time. Basically, we invite a guest on every week. They pick a topic, and then we power rank that topic.
What does that mean, power rank?
We throughout the conversation, we figure out the top 10 of each subject. So like last week we did heroes with Keith Johnson. The week before that we did nicknames with Dylan Sullivan.
Oh, and I love Dylan.
At the beginning we kind of just discussed what the parameters are because for nicknames at least, I was thinking more like individual nicknames. They were like, no, generic nicknames like Bubba or Buddy. And I was like, that's so boring.
That's so boring.
Yeah. We came up with like a nice hybrid of the two either way. But yeah, if you want to listen to 4 guys or 3 guys and a gal argue every week. Yeah,
that's the way to do it. Yeah. Okay. And so it's on
Real
Twitch.
Big on arguing, in case you guys can't tell.
That's sort of your whole brand. Okay. But you don't do it at work. You just like...
No.
Why?
Because also at work, there's enough people arguing.
Fair enough.
I feel like the arguing energy is enough for me. It's like, okay, there's something going on here. People are upset at each other. I like that. I don't necessarily need to be involved, but I could feel off those vibes, and that's enough for me. And also, it's just like, I don't know. You said before I'm usually not that busy at work, which is true.
Which I don't understand.
Well, see, Kate, here's the thing. The less you care.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I say this all the time. If I didn't care as much.
You're a feeler. Like, I
don't care.
Dude, you're watching Theo Vaughn right now. Like, and why are you paying attention to me at all?
And
I'll be over when I get over.
You cleaned up. Like, you did just fine. I think it's because I think customers can, and we'll get into this in the next section, but I feel like customers can read that and they take advantage of that. If you care, they're like, I'm going to exploit the shit.
They're going to run you around. They're like, it's like one of those things, like, it's like, oh, they're too cool for me.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I really just don't give a shit.
Okay.
And also the place that we worked at, the management kind of empowered me to not give a shit.
Oh, fair.
Because it was never my fault if like something went wrong. So it's like,
well, great.
Yeah, what do you you can complain to someone. This guy's like, we're cool. Like, you know what I mean?
So get ready.
This isn't going to go well for you, just so you know.
Okay, so I want to go back. So you are originally from New York. Mm-hmm. So why come out to California? I mean, you were playing football in New York. You were like crushing it out there. Why come out here?
So my last class at Wagner was a trip to Hawaii for 3 weeks. I was out there with one of my best friends. Yeah, it was a business elective. Don't ask me.
Wait, and so
business ethics of Hawaii. I have no idea.
And you picked that?
Yeah, my scholarship paid for the class. All I had to do was pay for a flight. So my parents got that for me as a graduation gift. I was like, this is going to be fucking amazing. We were there for 3 weeks. I think I had to do attend 5 things throughout the 3 weeks. Okay. So the rest of the time was just me and my best friend from college, my buddy TJ, just sitting on the beach smoking weed and like reading the teachings of Buddha. And I was just like, oh, this is what life is about. I gotta get the fuck out of New York. Then I went home. I'm helping like one of my best friend's girlfriends move, and we're driving down 3rd Avenue. And it's like Friday on like a happy hour, and I remember just looking out the window for like 30 blocks. I don't see a single person smiling. Ooh. It's like a beautiful like summer day. Everyone's just getting out of the work, the weekend starting. I was like, nobody here is happy. I was like, there's something wrong with this city. Some sort of disease where like no one could be smiling at this time. So at that point, then it was I was home for another year. I had a job at Ann Taylor. I started working for like a nonprofit in the city, but while I was working for that nonprofit, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I was like, this can't be it. So me and my buddy Mike, we were just talking about like going different places. I originally wanted to go back to Hawaii, then he was like, what about LA? And I was like, that'll do.
That'll do.
Yeah, so I think we left July 1st. We got out here July 4th. And yeah.
You got all the way from New York to here in 72 hours?
We went New York to Chicago on one day.
Ooh.
Then Chicago to...
What, Denver or something?
Yeah, but it wasn't Denver. We went to the other city. Aspen.
Aspen, there you go.
Yes, my buddy Cheese was living out there. And then we went from Aspen to Vegas. We stopped there for a night.
Aspen to Vegas is actually not that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, and
Utah's
Vegas,
beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, I never thought I'd be here in my life. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so is your buddy still out here?
No, we lived together for a year. That was a crazy apartment because so I've been friends with this kid since we were in 7th, 8th grade. But so throughout that year, I think like 3 other dudes who we went to high school with, it was like 5 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment at one point.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was wild. Mm-mm. Wild.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And you were bringing girls back and stuff?
Sometimes.
How would you guys do that? I've had another guy on that I had to ask how this worked. Like Patrick, you know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Same way?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's only 5 of us in there for maybe like a month and a half. So I had 2 buddies. They were sleeping on the 2 couches. My one buddy, he had set up like a little air mattress, and he had like a partition to separate himself from all that.
Okay.
And then I had my own room, and so did my friend Mike.
Oh, so you and Mike were set.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit. Yeah. There's also like 3 of my best friends too. The ones that are sleeping in the living room. So I was like, I don't give whatever, guys.
We've all seen each other. We've done it all.
Played football or basketball with all of you.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my boys.
Okay, but your buddy...
My buddy Mike, so he moved back to New York, I want to say 4 years ago, but we lived together for a year. Then he moved in with his girlfriend. And then me and my buddy Lucas, we got an apartment down like Culver City.
So that was how long ago? Get us up to now. So that was how many years ago? 4 years ago, you said?
So we moved out here 2012.
Hold for plane or whatever the hell that is. Hold for bus. Hold for cement truck.
Yes.
This podcast is going great. We're doing great. Okay.
So we moved out here 2012. It was 3 or 5 of us until like 2013. Then me and my buddy Lucas, we moved in an apartment in Culver City. My buddy Mike, he moved up to NoHo with his girlfriend Rebecca. And
so now in this whole experience of Los Angeles, does any part of you, because like you said, your read on New York is that no one's happy, but you feel like an affinity towards the sports and your parents are still there. So like, do you ever see yourself going back?
No.
Really?
I'm not really a big planner.
Sure.
So like,
seems like it,
as you can tell.
Yeah.
So right now there's no like, I don't really have a desire.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's freezing out there right now.
Facts. So if your podcast took off, would you say you were in entertainment then?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then that would be what it would take. Okay. And
my podcast took off if someone bought like a screenplay or pilot. Yeah, I would say I'm in entertainment then.
oh, so you're working on a
Yeah,
screenplay.
Kate, we all had to find hobbies during the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Morgan.
Yeah, it's-
But he just moved out here on a whim.
No, I
All
did
right,
move it.
Morgan.
Once again, not big for
Not,
planning.
not big planner.
Oh, well, I've had a lot of weird jobs out here. We'll get into it.
We're getting there. Okay, now just because I know I'm going to get emails about this, I did mention that you are in a full body cast sipping a milkshake right now. So what happened?
Geez. So there was an after-hour spot that is no longer running. I had been there. So when was this? I got hit in May. I think I was there in like March, and they asked me if I could throw a comedy show, and I was like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'll get back to you about it.
You're like,
And
but I'm not
then-
in entertainment, so how in the world would I put together a comedy show? I don't even know how to do that. Go ahead.
I know a bunch of comics, but
Oh,
yeah.
weird.
So then I talked to like some people, and they're like, "No, yeah, I think we could like finally put this together." So I went there that night to like talk to the owners and stuff, figure out how we're gonna split the doors, split the bar, how many people we get in there, all that stuff. So I think we were done talking at like 3 a.m. So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna leave." They're like, "No, let's stay, have like a beer, hang out, da da da." So I was like, "Okay." Next thing I know, it's like 4:35. I'm leaving. I'm getting ready to cross the street. I look to my right. I see a car like 2-3 blocks down. It's like, just okay, mental note, there's a car over there. And I look to my left, there's like 3 or 4 cars stopped, like letting about 8 to 12 people cross the street. So of course, me, natural New Yorker, I walk fast. I'm in front of everybody crossing the street. So I look to my left to say something to my homegirl, and next thing I know, I'm just like on the floor. One of my friends, he's like sitting above me, and he's just like, "You're okay, man, you're okay." And I was like, "What happened?" Then like the EMT moved him out the way, and the EMT was like, "You got hit by a car and you broke your leg." And I was like, "What?" And I went to like move my leg, and then I started screaming. And he was
Ooh.
like, "Yeah, man, you broke your leg." He's like, "Don't move." And I was like, "Okay." Then they put me in the ambulance. Then I called Richie, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm not going to be in tonight." But he didn't pick up. I left a message. And then I called my mom. And I was on the phone with her for a little bit. And then the EMT was like, "Hey, dude, I kind of need you to get off the phone. Like, we got stuff to do here."
Jesus Christ.
So I was like, "Okay." Then they hooked me up to an IV, and he was like, "I'm giving you fentanyl." Not going to lie, gets a bad rap. But
a lot of people dead, but it's
yeah, a lot of people that,
What are you gonna
do? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, after that, it was pretty hazy for a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I was in the hospital for 2 weeks.
And
Broken leg, broken wrist.
and that was it. Those were the only 3 bones you broke because you had the femur,
Yeah, femur. No, not the femur, because that's really bad. That's the one in your thigh. I broke my
oops.
tibia and my fibia, which is
That's
both the
right.
bones in your leg. I broke my tibia in 2 places. So they had to do like emergency surgery that morning.
Ooh.
They cut like a hole, or they do an incision in like the top of your knee, and then they put like a titanium rod all the way through your shin.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, so I never had to be in a cast, but
Oh, you didn't on your leg. You
no.
didn't, but your wrist
Okay,
you
so yeah,
did.
the wrist was in 2 different ones.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, the wrist stopped.
It hurts a lot.
Well, not even, I mean, the pain was probably the worst here, but the fact you haven't seen it, but I had like a walker that had like a platform because I couldn't put pressure on my wrist, so I could get around. It was like I had a walker right here, and then there was like a platform underneath here under my elbow that I could put pressure on. Yeah, it was so goofy. And
Wow.
after like 2 months, when I started feeling better and leaving the house, I was like, this
Sucks.
is so dumb.
Okay, so the person that hit you, what I know you can't, he can't get into too much of it, but it was a person driving for a ride share situation, and so that person was stopped, and
His car stopped after he hit me because
Yeah.
it did too much damage. The car just shut off.
your body. Morgan is not tiny.
I destroyed that car.
Yeah, he's not a fat guy. He's just a big. He was a tight end.
Yeah,
So
I'm a large individual.
yeah, he's not small.
In case you can't tell by my voice.
It's the resonation in the fucking earphones. Okay, here we go. So now as of today, so when the comedy club opened back up, you were still in this COVID time. You were back at work.
I had been back at work for 1 week.
Okay.
Exactly 1 week.
Okay, and so now you are just hanging out healing.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed your apps. We're going to move on to the entrees after a quick break. All right, we're back, and now it's time for the entrees. Okay, now this is a speed round of questions. Feel free to tell stories. You know how this works.
Sure do.
First job ever where the government was taking taxes out of your...
First job ever. I was 16 years old at the Larchmont Yacht Club in Westchester, New York. So, I'm not familiar with yacht culture or yacht club culture, but I will say that, so they had this thing that was called the Polar Bears, where it's like a bunch of people, they would take out, I think they call them like dinghies or dingies or something like that.
Dinghies,
They're
yeah.
like dinghies, yeah. They're like small 12-foot like sailing boats. And we were the boat handlers, so they would pay us like $60 every Sunday to come help put these people put their boats in the water.
And that was it.
That was it. And then usually we'd have to come back to help them take them out, but we would come back half the time because it'd be Sunday and we'd be watching football and stuff.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay.
So that was sick. It was like me and 6 of my friends I played football with.
So fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. We would show up there hungover and just like bullshit for fucking 3-4 hours.
How on earth did you fit in with a bunch of people with boats being hungover?
Honestly, I didn't at all.
Okay, so that's your first job. What about it? Like, did you feel like that was customer service?
Yes and no. I think that's kind of like where I developed a lot of my attitude toward customer service, where it's like, I don't need this job that badly. Because it was definitely customer service because you were dealing with customers, but it also just felt like manual labor. It was like, oh yeah, we'll just get a bunch of the football players to come help us put our boats in the water. And it's like, yes, I'm serving you, but I don't care. Just so you know.
Why do you think...
I might not come back here when you're done.
I'm so jealous of people that can master that detachment. What do you think that is? Why do you have that?
Growing up as an only child.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You really think that's related?
A little bit.
Okay, because you're just like, I don't have to care?
It's a little bit of like, I don't have to care, and like, I'm not going to lower any self-respect I have for myself because you're on one today. Like, that has nothing to do with me. You need to go figure that out.
That's amazing.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and
I'm out.
I'm not doing this. I'm not going back and forth with you, because if we do, I'm an asshole. I should probably mention that.
I don't think you are,
I'm not an asshole, but like, I have like that thing in me where it's like, I try to be very nice to people because I know the person I used to be, and like how quickly I could flip and go back to that and just tell you everything about yourself. And that's not really a conversation that we need to be having right now in the middle of a comedy show. So like, let's just keep it cool. You know what I mean?
Have you ever read anybody in the middle of the show?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Wait, give me an example.
I was upstairs once. There was I was working the show by myself.
Ooh, I fucking hated that.
I know. It was like 75% full. And the show was ending early, so now I'm struggling to close people out. So I suppose this couple told me that they wanted to pay on separate cards beforehand. But you know how the show goes. You just forget, especially at the end when you're trying to like run and do stuff.
Right.
So I run the card, the one that they gave me. I come back, and the guy was like, I was like, oh man, hey, like I'm just telling him too because he's on the stage with the girl. I don't want to embarrass him. I was like, hey dude, your card got declined. Do you have like another one? And he like looks at me and goes, we told you we wanted to pay with 2 cards. And I was like, oh, okay, my bad, dude. Like, I'm sorry. And then like I come back,
and you're still trying to keep it cool. You're not being a dick.
There's still a show going on.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to do the whole thing. So then I come back. They give me another card. I come back. I ran both of them. I handed both. I was like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry about that. And the guy like looked at me. He was like, fucking asshole. Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah. So like I'm taken back for like half a second. And I like stopped and I like knelt down and I got in his ear. I was like, let me tell you something. I was like, if you ever in your fucking life think you could talk to me like that again, I will beat the living shit out of you.
You said that?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Very, very, very whispery.
And what did he say back?
Then he asked me my name.
And you told
him I was Renee Lancaster.
No, you did not. Did you really?
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Renee is the nicest, most fucking. He's quiet. Yeah. He's a comic, but he is not.
I'm not Renee Lancaster. We look nothing alike. Yeah.
You guys couldn't be more polar opposite. Yeah. Did he write it down?
No, he left and. Yeah, he got out of there pretty quickly. I think it was the embarrassment of getting his card getting declined, and also like this guy might beat the shit out of me. I mean, I've never had a server tell me that before.
I bet he has it. See, that's the thing is like I've derailed from the questions. We'll get back there, folks. Don't get mad. But I had a situation where a girl tried to push me down the stairs and call me a bitch and like got in my face, and security had to get involved, and I just said nothing and didn't respond. But I kept thinking, I was like, what could I have said? And in that situation, I'm like, I should have said the same thing back to her, but I don't know, like. I don't know. My immediate response is to just cower and be like, okay, you can just say what you want, but they can't. No, and they do.
No. You're a person once you clock out.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And also like, if like, I don't say anything back to you, it's like, I'm not going home with all that awkwardness and like, not trauma, but you know what I mean?
Sure.
That feeling of just like, oh man, I wish I said this to that person. I should have to take this shit. Yeah. Just don't take it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, that incident happened 3 years ago, and I still bring it up. So.
Or it's like, my previous job before there, like, even if people were getting crazy with me, like, I'd be like, I'm just going to get the manager because I'm not doing this with you.
So you would just straight up, you're like, no,
I'm not doing it. I refuse to go back and forth with with strangers.
I mean, right? Like, but, so what would management at any job you've had always have your back when you were just like, I'm just.
Oh no! So my previous job, they never had my back, but I'm just not gonna like waste this energy with you.
Right. So you just
after I realize a person's not dealing with like logic or sense, because that's the other thing. Like I don't take any shit, but like I feel like I extend so much courtesy to you. Like, okay, how could you possibly be looking at this situation like this, and this is your reaction to whatever I'm doing, and if it just comes to a place where I'm just like, well, there's no logic here. Like this is a you thing. I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
I'm here to serve you drinks, not be your therapist. Like you gotta figure that shit out.
Now I've heard that with only children though, there's a tendency to be selfish. Do you think, because you're saying being an only child serves your ability to be good at boundaries, do you think it makes you selfish?
I think that's I think boundaries, it's kind of being selfish in a sense, because like I'm not sharing my energy with you. I'm not going to let you like do anything to fuck with this, especially if I'm in a good mood. If I'm in a bad mood, then like, yeah, let's have it out. I'm looking for an excuse to yell at somebody anyway.
Let's dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we could do this all night. But if I'm in a good mood, no, dude, I'm not. Yeah, you're not
doing
getting
it.
me on my mode. Hell no.
Okay.
I have to care about you to let you upset me.
See, I need to get good at that, and I am just not. Okay. How many customer service jobs have you had total? So we have the Larchmont Yacht Club, Ann Taylor.
Yes.
We know about the Comedy Club.
Saddle Ranch.
Okay. What else?
Rockin' Brews down in Redondo Beach.
What the fuck were you doing working in Redondo? That's so
Making a
far away.
mistake.
Yeah, not knowing.
Yeah, not doing something stupid. And I was like 24.
Was that your first job when you got out here?
No, my first job was at Saddle Ranch when I got here. But when I started working at Saddle Ranch, I was only working security. I didn't start serving there for until like 3-4 years in. So I started working there first. Then through someone I met there, I guess this is a service job too. I started working at a dispensary. I started managing that. And then that dispensary got shut down. So then me and my buddy, we put some money together. We started an edible company and opened up another dispensary downtown. So yeah, those are definitely 2 service jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but I always kept the job at Saddle Ranch because I was like, I mean, in case this doesn't start going well, I could just go there and just ask for more hours because I'd been there for so long. And then after I got out of that, then I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to serve here full time. And then I was depressed for like 4 years while doing that. I was like, hey, I think it's time for a change. This isn't great.
Okay, and so then the Comedy Store that happened after that. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 jobs. Was the Comedy Store your last customer service job before all the pandemic and everything? Okay, so you've had 7 customer service jobs according to this.
Yeah, because I worked at a law firm for a little bit in college, but that wasn't customer service. That was debt collections. I was not serving anybody.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was just calling people and annoying the hell out of them.
Ooh, that's rough though. But you are interacting with customers.
Yeah,
I mean, I would get.
Sure.
Debt
customers
collection.
at Amex.
Bless. Okay. Wait. So after the Larchmont Yacht Club, though, when you were playing football in college, did that mean you couldn't work during the 4 years?
So no. So I was working at the law firm. I think that was during my junior year of college.
How were you able to play sports and work?
There was no school.
None.
Yeah. I mean, what was my schedule like? Monday through Friday, I had to be up at 6 a.m. So I set my schedule up so I didn't have class Tuesday or Thursday.
Nice.
So that's how I would take the ferry over to the city after like workouts and just go work like a full day,
Wait.
then come home.
Do you just do better when you're busy? Like what was the...
Back then.
Oh.
But actually, I think, yeah, I do better when I'm on a schedule.
Yeah, I kind of
That's
do.
part of why the pandemic was so hard. It's just like I have nothing to do all day. I'm going crazy.
That's
just
why
sitting here talking to my dog.
And that's why you're in entertainment now and
Yep.
have 67 podcasts. That's good.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm counting. So I put debt collection on here because I feel like I know it's the law firm, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8 jobs.
Yeah.
That sound right? Okay. Which was your favorite? And you don't have to say the Comedy Store.
No, I am. That's 100%
Really?
my favorite.
Why?
Yeah, I hated all those other places.
Wait, why do
Well,
you
actually, no. Yeah, definitely my favorite is the club, but I would say because when we owned the dispensary downtown, a lot of times it would just be me by myself all day, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is sick." No, I love that. That's
Only
the best thing
child
ever.
solitude.
Yeah, dude, just sitting there listening to podcasts and music, getting high, like waiting, like 3 or 4 people to come an hour. It was sick.
How were you able to make rent?
With that,
Yeah.
it's really easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
you get
are
a
you-
lot of cash.
Okay. Are you
Yeah,
able to
I
do-
was making a good amount of money. Plus, we had like an edible company too that was featured in like Vice. They did like a thing with us on like CBS. Like, yeah, money was really good back then.
Why'd you stop doing that?
Me and my partner were going separate ways.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wanted to get more into like concentrates, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this the rest of my life. I don't really have a passion for this at all.
Yeah, and you kind of need that.
Yeah,
Does he still work in that?
I haven't talked to him in a while.
Oh,
Probably like
really?
2-3 years. Yeah, I mean, not because there's any bad blood, just people just grow apart.
Turns out that happens. Very matter of fact. Okay, so the Saddle Ranch you kept the whole time during the dispensary, right?
Sour Ranch, yeah, I kept from when I moved here until I started working at the club. Yeah.
Okay. So then before you worked at the club, you said you were depressed for 4 years. Was
Yeah.
it because it was customer service?
No, it's because they treat you like shit at Sour Ranch.
Are you able to talk about it openly?
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was working 6 days a week. The hours they had me working on the weekend were insane. I was getting off, like I would get off Friday, get hammered, then have to be at there like 10:30 in the morning.
You were doing clopins?
Yeah.
Oh,
I would
no.
open. Yeah, that's why like me and Vinny are so close. Me, Vinny, and Jasmine.
Because you guys would do that all the
We
time.
would go to war every weekend. Like you were dealing with like shitty brunch people every single weekend for like, I mean, there were a couple times me and Vinny, I would get there at 10:30. He would get there at 11:30. I would get off at like 8. He would get off at like 9. And then we'd both just be sitting there just like, this fucking sucks. This is terrible.
And he's another one that doesn't want to be in entertainment. So what was the value of working that hard? Was it you weren't making enough to survive if you didn't work that hard?
Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, word. And that's real there, huh?
Yeah, and it's just like you don't really have time to go look for another job.
Because they're killing you with it.
And they make you feel so bad if you like call out and shit, but I eventually got over that. I was like, I'm just
have
not doing
a
it today.
life, yeah. So did you worked 6 days a week until the very end?
Yeah, until I got a job at the club. And then I was like, you guys can have me for these 2 days. And I remember it was like one Saturday, I was there from like 10:30 to like, I want to say like 11. And my boss was like, I'll buy you a steak. I was like, I don't want shit from you.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
I'm out. I'm out. Well,
and then
because
the next day I put in my 2 weeks.
there was a period of time where you were doing Saddle Ranch and the club. And I remember like the days that you would come in for like a Sunday night shift and you had worked football brunch and you were just like, your eyes were crossed. Like, I don't know how you did that. You
I was
did
in such good shape then.
I bet you were.
I was just on my feet all day.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay, so what's your least favorite of all those jobs? I think we already know, but
Yeah, Saddle Ranch.
So when you say they treated you like shit, what does that mean?
So how do I want it? You just like everything has to be perfect, and if it's not, it's 100% your fault. And they ask so much of you. So like there'd be like days where I'd be like, I would be greeting people at the host stand. Then I would seat them, right? Just because wherever the host is doing, whatever. But I had been there for a while. They knew I knew what I was doing, so it's like, well, you could help out, right? Everything's supposed to be a team player. Exactly. So I would greet people at the host stand. I would seat them. They might not be in my section. Then the manager would be like, hey, can you just go get them started? And it's like, yeah, sure, but I got this other shit to deal with. Da, da, da. And they're like, yeah, but you could do this right now. And I was like, yeah, fine. So I go greet them. Then I would go to like one of my tables, put in like a round of mimosas. The bartender would be busy doing something else for somebody else. So now I'm making my own drinks. And it's just like, but it's on a constant loop for like 9 hours.
No.
Yeah.
No. I would have lost my fucking mind.
Yeah, I did lose my mind. I was very, very upset.
So why did it take so long to quit? You said Stockholm Syndrome, just you got used to it being bad?
Yeah, I got used to it being bad. And it's like, you just get into like a groove of just like, all right, well, this is what I do today. Like, you know what I mean? This is my schedule. This is when I have to show up. This is when I have to be here. Like, I'm going to, like, yeah, for a little bit of Stockholm Syndrome too. Because there is one manager that is everyone's cool with. But then once you realize he's just a cog in the machine to make you guys not complain that much, he's the one that you could talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen so many people crying that were on the clock.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. Insane.
Wait, just because of management or because like the customers were allowed to treat you any kind of way?
Customers, high volume. It's crazy there. It's it's just not fun.
So for non-LA...
I take that back. It is fun because if I'm like... Wherever I'm going to be at, I'm trying to make it be a fun environment.
Sure, you do
but
that.
It sucked.
But for anyone who's not been to LA or hasn't seen a handful of shows, including Sex and the City, the one where Miranda rips her shirt off and she's on a mechanical bull, it was shot at the Saddle Ranch that he is referring to on Sunset. And it's one of those touristy, trappy, like there's karaoke there and there's, like I said, the mechanical bull and there's, drinks that come in a big ass glass and there's like,
during the pandemic, it became like the number one spot for TikTokers.
Shut up.
Swear to God.
Wait, why?
I don't know. Because you can get in there when you're 18.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
And they were open?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet some stuff.
So when they were doing shows outside the original room that were like facing the street, there would be a line all the way down there for people waiting to go to Saddle Ranch.
Are you shitting me?
I swear to God. I remember one night Jamar was just telling me, he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you waiting a line 3 blocks to go to fucking Saddle Ranch?
And they would do it.
Insane.
Wow, they must have cleaned up during that time.
Yeah,
then.
I'm sure they did.
How were they able to keep employees though? If it's that toxic, who stays there?
Oh, because there's new people moving to LA every day that want to be actors and actresses.
And that's where you go.
I will say that I worked with some really, really cool people
that went on to have careers.
Yeah, actually, one girl I worked with, she's on a CW show. Oh, fuck, it's the one with the black superheroes. I forget the name of it.
I should know the name of that too. I don't
No, you shouldn't. I haven't seen an episode.
The CW is not my. Not my.
No, me neither. It's no one's.
Okay.
I don't know who watches the shows, but they got like 4 seasons, so good for her. I mean, I know there's a couple other people, but like,
people did
super duper big.
But people did well that were trying to.
Well, I mean, it's just such a high turnover there. Eventually, you're going to run into some people that have careers.
Somebody, statistically speaking. Okay, what's the weirdest thing you've been asked to do whilst on the clock? You can be as vague or specific as you want. We've gotten some
No, I
weird-
mean, I've been prepositioned for like weird sex shit with like couples and stuff. I have a story about a friend, but I'm not gonna get into it because it's not my story. But
Oh, could you without names?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
This is when I was working at Sour Ranch. Me and he's like one of my best friends too. We got into like a bit of not really a serious argument. We're just like fucking around with each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not taking your shit today. So then our boss sends him home for the day, and he's like, all right, whatever.
Okay.
He's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, I met this couple. He's like, I'm just gonna go party with them at the Standard. So I was like, all right, whatever, dude. This was at like 12 o'clock. So eventually I get off at like 6. We're all at the bar down the street, like having a drink. He just shows up out of nowhere, shit faced. And I was like, where have you been? And he's like, it's crazy. He's like, there's a couple in there, and then there's this other dude, and like all these other people and like characters he's just telling us about. And I was like, you need to wash your hands before you
Before you touch me.
Anything, yeah.
Oh my God.
And secondly, like maybe you should get out of there. And he was like, fuck that, I'm going back. So then he leaves for like another hour. 2 of our other friends go over there, and they're like, it's wilder than he said. They're like, there's this other guy that kind of looks like him. Everyone's naked. They're like, it's really, really weird. It's like, yeah, shit like that. People would proposition you for stuff like that all the time.
Why do you think specifically at Saddle Ranch and at the club, like why do you, or is it just you? Do you have that vibe? Do you get propositions? I mean, I'm not to put
I
you on
get
the spot, but
propositioned for sex with couples a lot.
Yeah.
No, it's only happened a couple times.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think it happens at those 2 particular spots?
I think the energy that I have is that people feel very comfortable around
Yeah,
me.
that's
Like
fair.
as soon as they like meet me or I start talking.
Yeah.
Well, it's like they don't even know. I usually don't like them that much. But
That maybe that makes people feel safe. I wonder what that is, because you do have that, but you also are not the dude that gets riled up.
yeah,
And that is safe in chaos.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, so that's the weirdest thing?
I'm trying to think. I know there's some other weird ones. That I mean, when I was working security, I used to see fights all the time.
Like in the streets?
No, in the streets, like at Saddle Ranch, actually. So.
So like drugs or like, I mean, I know that.
Oh yeah, I mean, well,
all the
see, that doesn't
time.
even feel weird to me though, because everywhere I go, people are assuming that I have weed on me.
So why do you think that is?
Because I'm black with dreadlocks and 6'3" and usually pretty high. So it's like, it's kind of like a safe assumption. I don't get mad at that.
You don't?
No, not really.
See, that
I would
would
assume
sound-
I had weed too. If I was like, yeah. If I was like somewhere and I was like, who has weed? The guy that smells like it and looks like he smokes a lot, I would probably also ask him.
I guess in my frame, in my own brain, I'm like, I can't imagine
It's
just.
very rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine going to a stranger, but also it's a pretty risky to just
Yeah.
be like, because I don't know your background. Like, I don't know what job you have. And I could be like, yo, can you hook me up? And you could be like, I can arrest you.
Yeah. Well, I think people are they're safe in their assumption. I'm not a police officer.
You could be undercover. It could be a
No, I
good wig.
couldn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing I do is undercover.
Fair enough. You're not small. So but drugs don't strike you as weird. So does that happen all the time?
Yeah, drugs for sure all the time.
Okay.
But it's
And-
also like for me, it's just like, this is Los Angeles. Like, just go to the store.
yeah.
Yeah, like if you want weed.
There's like 100
Yeah.
options for you.
I'll be honest though, I actually met a really, really good friend. Australian dude. He was asking me for something that wasn't weed. They love to party.
Yeah, they do.
So I was like, yeah, I could call a guy because these guys were cool. So I was like, I called a guy. After I got off, we wound up going out like partying that night. This guy he owns like 3 car dealerships in like Sydney.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he comes into town like once a year now. Like
And hits you
sometimes
up.
it'll be like him and his wife. Yeah, we always just have like a good time, like nice dinner and stuff. I actually made a friend.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, I'm not mad at that one at all.
Drugs bring people
Yeah,
together.
for sure.
So when you said you saw fights with security, did you ever
dude.
have to break them up?
Yeah, I ain't doing that shit.
You wouldn't.
No, I'm not getting paid to fucking get my face fucked up.
But Patrick said the same thing. But
Yeah.
but isn't that the role of security?
No, you're supposed to protect the staff and other customers.
Okay, so I
But if these
assume.
two guys are, I mean, look, there's a way to break up a fight without really getting involved.
Sure. How's that?
You kind of just like get in between them. It's like, hey guys, like, what are we doing here? A lot of it's prevention too. Once
Fair
you see
enough.
people like getting riled up, it's like, don't do this.
Don't-
This is
not
silly.
here. Yeah.
I don't want to have to fuck either one of you up. Like, I'm having a good time enjoying myself tonight. Like, please stop.
Did you ever have to call the cops for a fight?
Oh yeah.
Really?
So my first time working at Sour Ranch, my first year, probably like within my first like 3-4 months, there was this huge birthday party. They were coming from somewhere in South Central. They took a party bus, but everyone got off the bus wearing red and blue.
Oh boy.
So I was like,
Oh,
okay.
boy.
I was, yeah, interesting. Sure, that's a decision.
Maybe we're making a
I don't-
statement.
Maybe I would have checked the guest list a little bit more, but that's what you want to do.
Always wear just
Yeah.
white.
They get there, and I think it was like a 30 or 40 person party. So we weren't set up for it yet. So they had to wait like a half hour.
Okay.
Within 15 minutes, they were fighting with each other outside.
But of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
When we're on the radio, my manager's like breaking up. I was like, I'm not fucking breaking this up. Are you kidding me?
So how did they not fire you for having said, like, that was because that's a direct order?
Yeah.
What would you, like, you were just like, no, I'm not going to.
No, you just don't say anything.
You
never say no, but it's just like, okay.
I'm on it.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll be right there.
I'm not fucking Superman, dude.
Right. And also,
These people came here together and they're fighting each other. Like, they don't give a shit about me.
No. And I'm not going to take 2 hits to the face just because they're mad at each other.
Yeah. I remember when Curtis first started working over at Sour Ranch, because that's how we met. I had been there the longest. So, like, people were, like, fighting. And he was like, should we break this up? I was like, dude, this place is not going to take care of you if you get hurt. I was like, you have a family to go home to.
Fair
I was
enough.
like, that's insane.
Yeah.
I was like, especially because like one of our managers just like being real yappy and like talking shit to one of the guys I was fighting. And I was like, yeah, you're gonna get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop him.
No
you
way.
are inviting this.
Yeah,
because you're
making
trying
this
to be
worse.
tough right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are a little man.
What's the that would make
Yeah,
see,
Curtis was like, should we? I was like, hell no, dude. And he needs to learn a lesson.
And so would you ever have to call? So you'd call the cops? Would the fights like
I'll
the
call the
people,
cops quick. Yeah.
And would people leave before the cops would get there?
I mean, usually a lot of times, no. I'm trying to think. Sometimes they would. It would be like, all right, just get the fuck out of here. But like if there's damage being done to the property or like people's cars and stuff, then you gotta like restrain them for a while.
And did you
Which
ever?
is pretty easy because they get tired after fighting for 30 seconds.
People think that they can really hang.
No.
And fighting is hard
Very
as
hard.
fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever see anything that scared you where you were like, "Ooh, this is probably somebody strapped, or this is going to escalate"?
Yeah,
or...
I definitely. But I mean, yeah, no. You have a gun. You're in charge now. You know what I mean? You know?
You just like hands up.
I literally do not give a fuck about this building.
You want
At
the
all.
safe? I'll open the safe. What do you need?
The craziest thing I could think of, though, this was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago when everyone was getting the fake credit cards. And then, you know what I'm talking about? When people, like, they get, like, a credit card. So they'll steal someone's credit card number, and then they'll put it on, like, a different card that has their information on it, but it's still the same credit card number. But then when you swipe it, like, an alert will pop up. And it'll be like, this card was stolen, like, please call the authorities.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we had one guy, and that happened to him. Usually when you tell people that, like, hey, the card didn't go through, there's a problem, and they know that they're doing something fucked up, they just get the fuck out of
leave.
there.
Yeah.
This guy, he stayed, like, argue with people, and then we kind of had to, like, corner him and wait till the cops come, but you could just see the look of fear on his face, like, fuck, I'm caught for this. And he's just trying to get the card back and leave, and we weren't letting him.
Now, why would he want the card back? Because his real information was on it?
I think so, something like that, or they could just track it back to him or something. I don't know why he really wanted the card back, because I'm not in that world. Yeah, that's
You're like,
beyond me.
I'm in some worlds, but that's
I
not
know you're
one.
doing something illegal, and you're going to get in trouble for this right now, but I
other
don't
than
know
that-
the logistics of it.
Yeah, that strikes
But
me
that
as...
real time, seeing that fear in that person's face is like, I'm fucked.
That's
yeah, that was
tough.
crazy.
Bless. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, those are some weird. Yeah, I feel like everybody who's worked security has stories that like I just wouldn't even be able to wrap my mind.
But most of
around.
the time, it's so easy to break up a fight because, like, I would always do this when you see like two guys like getting angry at each other and starting. I was like, bro, none of the girls here are into this.
None of them.
There are so many pretty women here, and you're about to fight somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
And no girl, well, any sane girl isn't going to look at that and be like,
Oh, that's
hero.
hot. That's hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no way.
Bro, you're fighting over space at a bar. Like, what are we doing?
What are we actually
And usually, like, a
doing?
lot of times, like, that really works. Guys are just like, oh, shit, what am I doing?
And
This
that,
is crazy.
and you would just say straight up, what are we
Yeah.
doing? And then it would
I'd be like,
click.
dude, there's so many hot girls here. You're about to fight this guy. Like, what are you doing? And
This
then
is
it's
crazy.
like,
Oh shit.
oh, shit.
What did I do?
Yes, there are a lot of attractive women here. This is insane.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Did you like doing security?
No, hate it.
So how long did you last doing that?
Like I said, it was like strong for like a year and a half, and then I went down to like one shift a week.
But then you just fully transitioned into serving, or that was when the dispensary was happening?
That's
like,
when the dispensary was happening. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So I
okay,
was only
okay.
there like once a week for like a year and a half.
strictly as security.
Yeah. Then I came back.
And that's when you were like, I'm serving.
Yeah, I was like, I want to host and serve. And they're like, okay. So I started doing shifts doing that. Then I left for 3 months to go to Seattle because I was working production on a reality show. Mm-hmm.
But for this dude the dude who does it again, like he's aggressively not in entertainment and not pursuing it, but he was.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn down money.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
crazy. I had a
Good.
chance to go live in Seattle for 3
Right,
months.
might
in the
as
middle of
well.
the winter. That was awesome.
I bet.
It's very cold, but it was cool. I like that city.
No, I love Seattle, actually. Shout out to all my friends there. Okay, so what's an incident that made them ask to speak with a manager when dealing with you, whether at the comedy club or like anywhere you've worked? Do you have an incident?
Yeah. One day, I was working this party. It was like a birthday party in like the middle of the afternoon. And one of the older ladies in the party, she touched me. And I was like, can you please not touch me? And she was like, you don't want to be touched. And I was like, no, I don't want to be touched.
you
She's
don't.
like, who doesn't like being touched? I was like, I don't like being touched. And she was like, you have to find a new job. I was like, no, I don't. You just don't have to touch me. And then she like insinuated that I was gay.
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
Cool.
Like,
So now we're being homophobic.
Yeah,
That's great.
And here we go. Straight to Morgan. I'm not doing this. I'll get the manager for you.
By the way, manager's super gay.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's like, I'm for sure not doing this now. It's like, hey, she's saying crazy stuff. You can go talk to her. So I don't think they asked to get, I mean, it was eventually they're going to ask to get the manager, but I was like, let me do it for you.
Yeah, you got the
Yeah, because
manager.
I'm not about to do this.
And is that normally your go? Is like, you won't even let them get to a place where they need to ask for the manager because you'll just go ahead and get the manager?
Someone else asked for the manager. It was Jody's going away party, actually. I was working a show upstairs. It was Crazy Woke Asians. I think that was the name of the show.
Oh boy.
So, I mean, I'm getting everyone's card, like taking orders, and me going, once again, upstairs by myself.
I fucking hate it. I
It's
hated it.
insane.
But you never seem frazzled. I
was that night.
Oh my God.
But,
and was it sold out? It probably was.
Yeah. So these two ladies, when I come over to take their order, they were like talking to each other, very chummy. So I asked for a card for between them. So I ran the card toward the end of the show because I'm just up there busting my ass, running around like crazy
Killing
for
yourself,
an hour and a half.
which isn't worth it.
So then the one lady, she's like, we're not together. And I was like, oh, my bad. I was like, have the other card. She gave it to me that I ran it. And then when I come back to drop it off, she wants to like give me a lecture about how I was racist for assuming that they were together.
Fuck
like,
off.
Asked to see a manager. So I was like, yo, Curtis, I'm not doing this wrong here.
I actually don't have time. So
Also, if you were the one Asian person that was racist to in this whole audience full of Asian people.
Well done, me.
It might be you. I don't know. Just maybe. Just want to like grab like, can we take a poll real quick? Does anyone else think I'm racist toward Asian people? No?
Please.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Ma'am.
might be how you see the
Yeah.
world, you woke human.
No, it was like a couple days after Valentine's Day though, and she was like alone, and yeah, I felt bad for her afterwards.
Lucky. Look, see, but you say you're not a feeler. Okay, well, that's feeling something. For
Well, I
someone.
mean, I'm going to tell you you're crazy first, but then like after I'll put everything together reflectively, I'll be like, yeah, okay,
that was probably
I get it. Yeah,
shitty.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're probably having a rough go of it.
A bit.
If you want to yell at me now, call me racist. Yeah, it was wild.
How would you? We'll get back to the regular questions in a
It's like
second.
you weren't even like a white lady, you know? I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah.
kind of racist toward them, but you know, like
we do that all the time, though. You should be kind of racist
I know,
towards us.
yeah. This Asian woman, no, I have no beef with you. We're good.
We're good. We have a great history. What is the like? Why would you get put up there by yourself a lot? Because I would. There were the number of times I cried. It was almost always related to being
that
up there
night.
by
I think it's
myself.
because Jody knows I was going to light his ass up because he was having a roast for his going away
That's
party.
right, and I
probably
definitely-
not. Yeah, it was just he was checked out. It was just like, yeah, whatever. Sunday night, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah.
And that was 100% true towards the end. God love him.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you ever been afraid? Not security, but like afraid working at the club.
Afraid? No, not really. Plus, I mean, I don't really approach my life with much fear.
Yeah.
It's also like, if this is how I'm gonna go out, so be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pretty much at peace with it. I mean, like after a month when I was working there, I was like, if I'm still here doing the same thing in 10 years, I think I'll be all right with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you felt?
I was like, my bills are paid. I'm pretty fucking happy.
wow.
I get to
really?
go to a place I really, really enjoy every single night.
Wow.
Like, I really wouldn't mind.
I think my brain was broken there because everybody I talked to was like, I love it there.
Yeah.
It was the most fun. And I was like, wow, I was struggle busting it most
Yeah,
of the time.
you
there.
care too much.
Care too much. Way too much. It's got to change.
Which is great for everything else in life.
But
Yeah.
not for that job.
No,
It sank me.
absolutely not.
Like it was so
Like,
bad.
you're out here Karen, dude. Like, yeah, like what?
Who's
what?
doing that? Why? It's a waste.
It smells like Karen here. What's going on?
He's not saying Karen.
No,
To
care,
be clear.
care, yeah.
Okay, so what was the last straw? And I know with Saddle Ranch, it was just like being over it. But like, was there a moment in any of these jobs where you were like, fuck this noise. I'm so out. I can't even see straight. Like, I'm not even giving 2 weeks. I'm out.
I could take you through a couple of them. And
Yeah.
Taylor, they had taught me, because I was just working in like the back stocking shit.
Okay.
And they had spent like, just, no, you don't do it like this, do it this way. And then like, it was one night where I did it the way that they wanted me to, or the way they wanted me to. And then she came in, she was like, actually, your way was better. I was like, you mind redoing it? And I was like, oh, I'm out of here, dog. I got shit to do. Yeah.
No.
Friday night, this Ann Taylor, I don't give a shit.
I couldn't care less. Why? How'd you get hooked up with Ann Taylor?
My mom.
Oh, okay. And what was the
I
second?
was never be caught dead in Ann Taylor.
Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, that's not even.
The nonprofit, that wasn't really. That was more of a. It's time to leave New York and go do something different. Because like I still like all those people.
but was
was
there? You said you had 2 incidents.
Saddle Ranch. I remember the day I called Curtis. It was July 4th. I was working like a brunch shift. All these girls had like ganged up on me about something. But yeah, it was something so ridiculous and childish, and that's why I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm not doing this anymore." Yeah. I was like, "This is insane."
I absolutely know what I'm calling this episode.
Yeah, I was like, "What are we doing here?" I'm not getting yelled at by this woman. I was like, she's an idiot. Like, what? And the manager has to agree. Like, no. We're out of here. Yeah,
we're done with it.
I was like, I've done this way too long.
Yeah. Okay. And do you miss any aspects of it?
A salary range?
Yeah.
No.
Do you miss any aspects of any of the previous jobs you've had?
Yeah, dispensary. There were certain perks to working there.
Getting high and listening to podcasts all day. It's pretty great. Working for yourself.
It's like doing the same thing I do now during the day.
Not that
I was
different.
getting paid for it. Yeah, that was pretty tight.
Pretty great. Okay.
Yeah, plus I had some equity in it, so that was tight. Yeah, I miss that a lot.
Have you ever told a customer to fuck off? Or maybe in not so many words.
Yeah, for sure. I think I tell a lot of customers to fuck off.
I think you tell a lot of people too, but you do it in such a subtle way that I don't think people know that
it's
you're
like
being mean.
you could say the words without saying the words.
100%.
Where it's like, and then it hits them like a second later, but you're already gone. It's like, he just told me to fuck off, kind of. Yeah, I did. For sure.
Do it to me right now. Tell me to fuck off without telling me to fuck off.
See, like a lot of times it'll just be like kind of like a look or just like the way you say something. Like, ask me for something.
Could I get another?
Yeah, sure. Out of here. Don't even let you finish. Yeah, I'll be right back. Never coming back. If I ever tell him to be right back, I'm never coming back.
Did you ever work that Thursday show that I don't want to say the name of?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I have.
Did you have bad experiences there, or were they cool?
No, because I don't care.
You're,
yeah.
Got it.
And I remember someone told me, it was like, oh, yeah, you work this show. Like, you don't really have to do it. Sick. Like, I'll just kick it till the end. Yeah.
Watch me ride this out.
I don't want to do shit. Cool.
We good?
I'm going to go smoke a joint with Frank out back. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any regrets from any way you handled a situation in security or handled a customer or something that you went back and looked at and you were like, shit, I should have done that differently?
Yeah, probably, but none of it weighs on my psyche that much.
Because again,
I'm just like, I don't care.
Morgan don't care.
Yeah, it's just,
okay.
I'm going to say definitely, sure, without a doubt, there's situations I could have handled differently, but yeah. Do I go back? No.
You don't think about it twice?
No,
okay.
I think about like conversations I've had with people who I care about, like 3 years ago. You know what I mean? That way, I'm like, oh, I should have said this instead of that. But like when I'm at work, absolutely not.
Not at all.
No.
Okay. How many?
I'll get my job back after this.
I'll do a warning at the top. Hey, if you're currently employed at the store, please don't listen to this episode. All right. How many bodily fluids have been on your person whilst you were on the clock?
Oh, man. That's...
You ever been barfed on, bled on?
Yeah, I want to say yes to both.
Yeah, because in security, I'm certain.
Yeah, for sure. I'm barfed on without a doubt. Bled on without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go with those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just keeping moving.
Yeah.
The smell of barf must not bother you that much then. If you can't
not really.
Really?
I mean, it does, but it's just like, I don't know.
You just, again.
It's like when you smell like stinky garbage. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh there's that. That doesn't cause like a gag reflex or anything.
See, it does for me. Ugh. Okay. Do you tip?
Yeah, of course.
How much?
Usually 20%.
Okay.
I mean, I'll tip regardless, even if you're shitty.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you won't get the 20%, but it's like, this is going to sound crazy. The only way where it won't be 20% is if you're giving me a lot of attitude, which is something I tend to do. So it's like you would think real recognizes real, but no, not at all.
When you're serving
because I think I'm super special when I walk into a restaurant. And how dare you not give a fuck about me?
When you're getting served your own karma, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, this is not good. This is what I do. This is it. No, I'm not giving you any money. This is crazy.
It's a bad look. How do I make any money at my job?
You were doing a terrible job of making me feel bad. Why would I? No.
But so you'll never not tip though?
No, never not tip.
Really?
No.
What if someone is like straight up disrespectful?
You gotta like call me the N-word for me not to tip you. You know what I mean?
Have you know?
No, because even if you're disrespectful, if it's like funny, like I can appreciate that too. So
but
it's
funny
like,
isn't exactly disrespectful because it's like
true.
it's a
That's
joke.
True. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm pretty chill diner.
Wow.
Because I don't like or also I'm like very direct about like what I need when I need it.
Yeah, sure.
So it's like you have to be like going out of your way, and I'm like very forgiving. I understand when people forget shit. I know you're busy. I've been there before. So it's like I'm not gonna screw you. This is how you make your living.
Yeah, and you also don't. I don't think you clock the little shit, and that's also my problem is that I clock all the shit.
Yeah.
And it's like I gotta let some stuff just not be clocked because it's ruining me. All right.
Also,
good.
I'm like the worst too because like if let's say you bring me ranch, and I ask for blue cheese.
You'll just eat the ranch.
No, I'll ask you once. Then if you don't, I'll just ask whoever walks by. Yeah, like
I just really need some blue cheese.
Yeah, that's why I just need the blue chease. I don't care who gives it to me, how long it takes. Just please bring it.
Someone bring me some blue cheese.
I need blue cheese.
That's crazy because most people say ranch. Is blue cheese your go-to?
Yeah, of course. Ranch is gross.
Yes.
Ranch is for gross people.
Okay. Have you ever been stiffed?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Now, in what context?
So At Saddle Ranch, there's no, there's like,
This is crazy. I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even, I'm trying to say it, but I can't. Like, there's no, like, they don't add, autograph. There's no auto gratuity. So I've had, like, parties where the bill will be like $500 and they leave me nothing.
Shut the fuck up.
And at that point, like, I'm ready to leave. Like, no, you gotta stay for 4 more hours. I was like, you guys are out of your fucking mind. I'm about to have an issue here.
I'm about to get myself fired. Wait, $500 note.
Yeah, it'll be like $500. I have to run like 8 different cards.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Why do you think they don't have autograt?
So they can keep getting the shitty people that like to go there to come in.
Oh, because it's a selling point to customers.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it sucks.
I have so many opinions about that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Would you get stiffed at the store ever?
It's happened before, but like whatever.
You didn't, but consistently you didn't get stiffed there, right?
No, I got stiffed more than you think. Yeah, this strategy doesn't always help. Might not necessarily be the most lucrative, but I'll be damned if I'm going to go on my way. They're going to stiff me anyway. The thing is, though, those people are going to stiff you anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I wish people
So
knew
it's just
that.
like, I'm like, if you're cool and I recognize you're cool, like, yeah, I'll give you a little bit more extra attention.
Yeah.
But if you're like being a dick and trying to like go about, well, now I already think you're going to stiff me.
Yeah.
Because you come in here being disrespectful. So it's like, I'm definitely not giving. But sometimes the people who are dicks and I don't give them attention, they wind up giving me like 20, 25, 30% too.
And then you're
So
like, fuck, I wish I would have paid more attention to you.
No,
yeah.
I got what I needed. We're good. We're A-okay on this side.
So you're not going to start a consulting business where you tell people how to be better servers is the message.
I should start a consulting business where I tell people how to be better customers.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, Morgan.
Dude, just chill out.
Just chill out.
Yeah, it's so much better for everybody.
It's comedy and booze.
Yeah.
How are you riled
especially
up?
at that place. It's like,
Yes.
you didn't pregame before you got here? Like,
Yeah, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, like,
you didn't
idiot.
think you were going to be 2 hours in line? That's on you. I don't have anything to do with that.
Sebastian's on stage right now. Why are you talking to me?
Why are you talking to me? Oh, I can't.
It's like a lot of times there, I'll just like look at the lineup and I'll be like, okay, get everyone their first round by this person, then you could chill for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is why it never looks like I'm super busy.
Because you just time it in your head. But you can also carry more.
Yes, that's true. And I walk around with a tray full of drinks in one hand.
I can't do that.
I can't do that. Yeah, you're.
I can't.
You got a lot more going on than me.
Yeah, but yours is faster. Punky did that too when she was serving because she just said it gave her seconds that mattered. Ugh, yeah, no thanks. Have you ever been fired?
I've had mutual parting of ways.
But you've never been fired?
No.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of the worst customer? Either you have an incident that is in your brain of like, oh, this shit happened, like where they called you outside of your name or they were super insane.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
Ooh, tell me.
So I was working at Saddle Ranch. I was on a break. I come back and there had been a fight. And now this guy's just outside like.
Now pause. This is you in security or this is you as a server?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think I was a server.
Okay.
But yeah, I come back from my break and there had been a fight and this guy was just outside like bleeding.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And he was just like leaning against my car and he was talking to he was yelling at our manager and calling a bunch of people the F and N word.
Sure.
He's fucking just like this Australian dude. And then I came up to him and I was like, hey dude, could you do me a favor? Could you stop leaning against my car? And he's like, what the fuck you say to me? And I just like clicked the thing so it beeped. And then he was like, ah! He just like flipped the fuck out. Just started walking away.
All it took was a beep.
Yeah, so like he wasn't really my customer, but I'm assuming he was having a rough night. You know, like then he was bleeding. He was just using racial epithets. Yeah,
not doing well. In general.
And then next thing my goofy ass was like, can you get off my car?
Beep,
He's like,
beep.
what? Beep beep. He's like, just going crazy. Yeah, so that was fun.
If you were going to have a consulting business to tell someone how to be the worst or best customer, what would you? How is someone the worst customer?
If you're touching your server. I like people who are like direct about what they want because then I could help you out. If you're like beating around the bush or being very vague, the worst person is, can you tell the bartender I want something sweet? No, I can't tell the bartender you want something sweet because I don't have your fucking taste buds. What would you like? Be an adult. Select something. Also, there's a whole menu of suggestions.
Yes.
Also, ingredients. They could make you something.
Yeah, and we don't have time. I understand that at a craft bar, if someone's like, chef's choice or bartender's choice or whatever, because if you're working in those spaces, in theory, you like inventing and doing shit like that. Any comedy club on the planet, it's too fast.
Yeah.
We simply don't have time. And you don't think the bartender's about to live in our asshole if we go back there and say, hey, I just have a table that needs something sweet. I know you have 412 orders coming in right now, but I need you to invent something. They don't
You
have
think I'm
time.
gonna go back there and get cursed out by Punky because you want something sweet? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
you better not send that shit back.
and they do. The whole my favorite is there's not enough booze in here. And it's like, then you may have a problem.
Yeah.
And that ain't got shit to do with me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Or maybe you should just try, I don't know, something straight on the rocks. Yeah. Like,
Yes. You have so many options.
oh, so you don't like the Coke part of your rum and Coke? Got you.
Just get a rum. Okay, well, folks. Well, do you have anything else bad? Or a bad story that you want to tell us, or a horror story that you can think of?
No. I mean, because like I don't usually remember the bad shit. So I only remember like the good things.
Good for
happening
you.
when I was serving. Yeah.
Well, as if you scripted that, we're going to move on to the good stuff. We hoped you all saved room for dessert. What's the nicest thing a customer has done for you whilst you were working?
In terms of like tip wise, or just like nice. Oh, I'm trying to think.
Yes, give me both. Give me the nicest tip you've ever
Okay,
got.
so nicest tip I ever got. I think it was 800 or 900.
Holy fucking
Yeah,
shit!
yeah.
For what?
It was at the store.
I bet.
Yeah, I was. It was like a group. It was during a Tripoli show, and it was
Wow.
like a double show. So they got like shit face. I think their bill was like $300 or something. The guy just kept handing me hundreds at the end of the show.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, and all cash, so you didn't
Yeah,
have to wait
it
to
was
get the
all cash.
payout.
It was great.
Oh my
It was great.
god.
Yeah,
That's
I was
almost
on
rent.
cloud. I got like a tattoo that fucking Friday.
I bet you did. You're like, I'm gonna get a
I'm
lottery
like, this
ticket.
is sick. Yeah, it was like the 15th too. It was like my rent was already done. I was like, this is awesome.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, and
okay.
then COVID happened like 3 weeks later, so that wasn't great. But I was like, damn, I should have saved some of that.
Yeah, actually, Morgan, it's so funny. I was so burnt out pre-pandemic, as we all were, and Morgan had like sent out a text or something, and he was like, "Hey, I want to pick up a Thursday or whatever the
Oh,
day
yeah, I
was,"
remember this.
and I was like, "Oh my god, please take my shift. Like, I don't want to work." Blah blah blah. And then we got news that the pandemic was hitting, and I was like, fuck, because I just didn't even, like, unemployment didn't cross my mind,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm about to be fucked. And then I was like, Morgan, I am the only one who's about to be fucked by this whole pandemic. Can I have my shift back? And he was like, we're all about to be fucked by this pandemic. I'm going to keep the shift. I was like, okay, fair point.
I felt bad about that for like a week, and I was like, no, she's insane. Well, I think it got canceled anyway, right?
They cut one of the servers and the show got cut in half.
Yeah.
It was like, it was a bad night,
Yeah.
and you guys made zero money.
I
No, it
it
was
was
bad
me,
night.
Davina, Diamonds, Moses, and Willie. We were just in the back, like comparing our pubes for some reason. It was a weird time. Yeah.
Well, that's very on brand for that experience. Okay. So that's the best tip you've ever gotten. What can you think of something like a nice customer said or did or acknowledged or made you feel some kind of way?
So I mean, one of the good things about Sour Ranch is like you do have a lot of regulars, and I used to have like a couple families with like kids that would always come back and ask for me on like Saturday mornings and shit. So those are people I would try and like hook up and treat nice, and you're like giving like a little kid cotton candy, and they like love you and shit, and
You're
it's
like,
pretty cool.
It is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's pretty tight.
Okay. Okay. And then can you give me an archetype for if you were going to have your consulting business, what would be, what's the best behavior that a customer could have that would make you be like, you know what, this guy gets it,
Laugh at my jokes.
but he's not in
sure.
entertainment, folks. I just want to be clear.
Be really, really attractive. Also, know how attractive you are.
Oh, really?
And how you could talk to people and how it's going to be perceived. You have to understand that. And I'm not trying to be like sexist either, because like guy or girl, I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you're like a super hot guy, you're talking. It's like, all right, well, I guess you could talk to me like that.
'Cause you're
if you're like a
hot.
hot girl, it's like, yeah, I'm definitely going to take this because in my sick, twisted brain,
I could
somehow
date
this
you.
turns into something else. Yeah, for sure. But if you're just like, you know who you are at this point, maybe don't act like that.
So if someone has a busted face, they're not allowed to talk to you in any kind of way?
I mean, they can, but just know it's not going anywhere.
Not gonna
Yeah,
land.
it's not. Yeah.
Okay, that's so ridiculous. Okay. What's the best time you've ever had at work? Can you think of like a night that you were like, oh, it went off and I had the best time? Not in relation to the like $900 tip or whatever, but just like a really dope ass time at work.
It was like 2 Christmases ago around then, and I was like dating a girl at the time, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna come visit you at the store. So I was like, yeah, sure. So she came in, she was just chilling in the back of the OR. So I'm like hanging out in the back for a sec, and Chappelle and John Mayer walked by, and they're like doing a show upstairs. So I was like, I asked Hormos, I was like, I got this girl here, can I bring her in? He was like, yeah, sure, I don't give a shit. So I like brought her in. She like sat there for like an hour and a half. Then I got off, and I went upstairs to go hang out with her. And it was like Chappelle, John Mayer, and Tiffany Haddish just all on stage in the belly room. And I was like,
Jesus.
this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is the coolest thing ever. This is the best place to bring a date ever.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
but I hope you got laid that night.
Yeah, of course.
Of course
Yeah,
you did.
yeah.
Good. That's amazing. Why aren't you guys still dating? That's a pretty good get to take you on that as a date. That's a bad first date, though.
It wasn't a first date.
Oh.
Yeah, it was someone
okay.
I was dating. I mean, come on.
I mean, you set the bar too high. Okay.
Yeah, it was my fault.
Yeah.
She wasn't
You
out of
did
her
it.
fucking mind.
No, she was totally sane. Okay. What's the best lesson that you have personally learned from working in customer service?
Just like, I don't know. I think I find myself to be like a pretty calm person anyway when dealing with like customer service, but it's also just like, you don't freak out on the person you're dealing with because most likely it's not their fault.
That's right.
There's like, they're just the person who's giving you the answer that you don't like.
That's right.
So I always try and treat people with respect when I'm dealing with customer service. And the nicer you are, the more they can hook you up.
Especially if they're
Yeah.
getting shit on by tables 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
If you're the table that's not being shitty.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to hook it up.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah.
If you're the one table that's nice to me,
like,
enjoy
oh,
all your
yeah.
rounds of shots.
Yeah.
Here it comes. I'm about to rain on you.
And just be understanding.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
gets just goes so much further in life.
And what's one piece of advice that you would, I mean, this is kind of the same answer then. Because like, well, if you could do from customer service, like if you could take one thing away from it that you think is applicable to any other job that you could have that wouldn't necessarily be customer service, what is that skill you learned?
I think it kind of goes back to like just not the, how do I want to say it? It's like in my brain. The more that you let people know that you don't need them, the more they're going to try and like not grovel toward you, but they're going to respect you more.
That's right.
Because like if they think that they have the upper hand, which I mean they naturally do,
Sure.
because you're serving them. But they're just like, oh, this guy doesn't give a fuck. I want to know more about you. I mean, they're like so much more drawn to you.
It's intriguing, and
Yeah.
it is. If you take the power back, that's a really great point.
It's like, how are you taking the power back? You don't have power. It's like, well, I'm already gone now, and you're stuck here thinking about it, and now it's just buying me more time to go
Bye.
do it. Yeah.
Okay, and then if there's anything that you wish everybody knew before they walked into a bar, what is that?
What you want to drink?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy.
I mean, I have like if I'm walking to a bar, it's like I'm usually getting whiskey. If I'm getting beer, I know I would like to get a sour first, and if they don't have that, like I know what I like.
Yeah, punky
And
head.
yeah, I'll ask 2 questions. And it's like, yeah, whatever, just give me that one.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're allowed
that's
2
it.
questions.
That's it. That's it.
Only 2.
How many mods are you allowed if it's a food service situation? How many modifications?
See, here's where I'm a picky eater.
Oh, see, I am too.
Yeah,
Okay, so you allow.
Get what you want. Get what you want. Get what you want. Just be direct about it.
Just not drink.
Yeah,
Okay.
just get what you want.
Okay. Well, how can people get in
I'm
touch?
a big like take thing. Like let me get this, but without. You know what I mean?
Wait, no, I'm not tracking.
It's like I'll be like have a burger, but like no pickles or onions.
Oh yeah, I'm that way too.
Yeah, that's That's so that doesn't count, right?
No, because you're not saying like, can you reinvent a dish for me?
Yeah, no, don't do that shit.
Yeah, like add this, take away this.
But if it sounds good, I'll ask.
Will you really?
Yeah, because I might want to eat it later too.
Wait, are you the person then that sends in your Starbucks order and it's got like 62 things on the
no,
list?
no,
I think that's obnoxious.
Yeah, that's obnoxious. Yeah, I
Okay,
drink
cool.
double shot of espresso
And
with
call
milk
it.
and sugar. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
And yeah, give me my rocket fuel so I can go work a 12-hour shift at Sour.
This is okay. This is the thing. Like nobody Tara, God bless her. She's been on the podcast. What up, Tara? Tara and I used to get this thing called, I think it was like a donkey toe from Starbucks. And it was like 3 shots of espresso with a little bit of milk and some sugar. And you would shoot it.
Yeah.
And like, looking back now, I'm like, if I would do that today, I would not only shit my pants, I would throw up. Like that is so much caffeine. But then it was like just keeping me level set. And
So,
that's crazy.
I mean, I like to go out.
Yeah,
And so like there's
we
a
know
lot of
that.
times I'd be out till like 4 or 5 in the morning.
What?
Go home, go to sleep for like a couple hours, wake up, go to Sour Ranch. There's a Starbucks right next door.
Yep.
Like, yeah, let me get a quad shot of espresso, milk and sugar, crush that, smoke a cigarette, take a dump, and it's like, you got
Here
me
we
for
go.
6 hours. And then I'm going to crash.
I am back
Yeah,
online.
for those 6 hours, I'm going to be very fucking engaged.
You're about to get the best version of
After that,
Morgan.
get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Because it's
Immediately.
a wrap. Yeah.
And 6 hours and 1 minute, it's fucking
Like, you will
over.
see it happening when I'm not feeling good anymore.
Amazing. Well, how can people get in touch with you, Morgan? Where do your podcasts air that are not like live stream Twitch? Like, are they also on Spotify?
You can find them all on YouTube. You can find them all on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Okay.
If you want to hit me up directly, handsome_Morgan on Instagram.
That's actually his handle, folks. handsome
Shout out my
_
friend
Morgan.
Ryan. He can help with that.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I was like, I want to change. He's like, why don't you call yourself Handsome Morgan? I was like, that's brilliant
Done.
and very, very true. Yeah, I was like,
It is very true. Ladies, Morgan is single
Yeah.
right now. Morgan is single and available at the time that this is airing, which is on Monday, October something of 2021. Morgan's available. So slide into his DMs. They are open. He does not have a private account. And he will absolutely answer unless your face is busted. And then he won't. So if he
and even
doesn't...
if it is, I'll answer.
Oh, isn't that
Because
nice?
you're not asking me for things at a restaurant.
Jesus Christ. On that note, I could not. Well, folks, we're going to drop your checks in hell. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to help us out here at Service from Hell, we'd love to have you subscribe, rate, and or review wherever you listen. It will help us reach more people that need to be schooled on the art of being kind and will be catharsis for those of us still working in the industry, which neither Morgan nor I are at the moment. If you want to get in touch with us here at Service from Hell directly, send us your receipts at servicefromhellpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Remember, if you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to go out. So don't be garbage and be good to people. It's easier that way. Thanks, Morgan, for
Thanks, Kate.
being
This was
here.
fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you and your
Hell yeah,
time.
anytime, dude.
All right, well, we'll have him on again, folks. You heard it here. We need guests. All right. Thanks for listening, folks. Good night. That's comfortable for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll kill you. You already know how to do this, Morgan. God damn it.